Hey everybody, it's Bobo the Vulture, and I haven't done one of these in a very long time, and I feel like people haven't been clamoring for them, but what the heck. Something I could do real quick, but it's a little bit of a hauls video, because I got a chance to go to a retro store that I really enjoy, that I hadn't been able to get to in a while because it's out of town. Um, it's called the Tech Exchange, and you will see that label on a bunch of the items that I picked up. Haven't had a chance to pick up a lot of retro stuff in a while, so this might be a little bit fun. The first thing that I saw was this Kart World Series, which sounds weird, but Kart is actually an acronym for Championship Auto Racing Teams. They're not pushing around shopping carts. Um, but what I was actually impressed by is this is an era in Champ Car Racing near its height, but also pretty close to its end. Back in the split and open wheel racing, and I flipped over to the back of it, and yeah, some of the names on here are great names that I don't think have been in a lot of other games. One of my personal all-time favorite racing drivers here is Gilles de Ferran, but also Scott Pruitt. I mean, yeah, Alex Zanardi. One of my favorite biographies, the biography of Alex Zanardi. Um, Also, don't know if it even specifically mentions him here. Oh, it does. He's leading this race, Greg Moore. But that's a bit of a sad story, so let's not dwell on that at the moment. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which I imagine is probably a game that most people know more about even than I do. I just saw it and want to make sure it didn't just use the bongo controllers because I don't have those. But it's gonna be fantastic DK action, and for a Wii U game, that's no harm done at that sort of a price. Uh, this was in their dollar bin, Scrabble for PS1. I figure again, that's a relatively easy gimme. Um, get to we get to the meat of the purchases here. You know me. First and foremost, my first love is the NES. I'm pretty sure that I had Super Spike V-Ball and Nintendo World Cup, but I have lost that cartridge over the years, and both of those games are well worth it. They're probably two of my favorite sports titles on the NES. Um, Nintendo World Cup, of course, being a sort of renaming localization of a Kunio-kun soccer game that was pretty fantastic. And Super Spike V-Ball was, another Technos title, but it was a really good beach volleyball game. I really enjoyed that one. It's one where you can play together, and it's they're 4-player games, so you can do them together. You can do them collaboratively, competitively. This is Orb 3D, which I'm going to be honest, I don't really know that much about, but it's not one that I see out in the wild very often, and, it wasn't that much money. And I kind of felt like treating myself with this trip, so kind of a lark, I picked it up. It was released by High Tech Expressions, so I do not have very high hopes for it, but again, it's kind of just a little semi-rare oddity, so I thought, what the hey. Pretty neat. I'll have to try, one of these days I'll be trying these out, It's just going to take a while, possibly. Um, Monopoly for NES, complete with manual, so I'll have to check that out later. Again, one of the things I just try and do is find stuff that's sort of cheap and kind of interesting. I'm not going after the high dollar titles because that just gets ridiculous. Also, high dollar titles are the kinds of things that we'll probably end up getting, well, a lot of them, not all of them, but end up getting re-released in some form or another later. This is a good version of Monopoly. I really like the version of Monopoly that's on NES. It has little voice clips. It's just kind of fun. I mean, obviously, Monopoly is something that you can pretty easily simulate, in any kind of computer system. So, yeah, Monopoly. I'm into it. I think this is the last NES selection. Captain Skyhawk. I think I might have Captain Skyhawk already, but yeah, it had the manual, which I thought was nice. And, if I found one dupe on this trip and it was a pretty cheap title, I don't mind. I got people that might be interested in a dupe, even if it's a very sophisticated dupe. And then I got just a handful of super duper cheapo games because nobody really values GBA. I don't think they're going to be great. A lot of them are for kids, but hey, I got a kid, right? There you go. Let's refocus. Cars, the game. Shoot some Ladders, Candyland, Memory. I mean, it's easy to figure out. Those are little kiddo games. Slight Jump Cut. That's Aggravation, Scrabble Jr., and Sorry. I'm honestly interested in this one myself because I never actually got to play Sorry growing up. I don't know how Sorry even works. Also, it's by DSi Games, or released by DSi Games, who made that very fun version of Uno that I was playing on GBA. Let's see here. Dora Super Spies. Dora the Explorer Super Spies. It's a show that Bronco has occasionally seen on TV and been kind of into. So I'm like, hey, if I'm trying to corrupt, a child into playing video games and doing all this terrible stuff, maybe this is the way to do it. It's just funsies. So those were all buy one, get one. And the guy forgot to do the buy one, get one. So when I found this later in the dollar bin, Matchbox Crosstown Heroes. Crosstown Heroes. After you did the refund on it, he's like, oh, you know what, for your trouble, just take that. It's obviously anything in their dollar bin is not something they really are. Like, it's just trash that came in with a big order, so they're not really that worried about it. But, yeah, I just wanted to, let's see, I can lay out some of these things. I'm not going to do a big zoom out, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, look at all this. Yeah, no, it's just, I happened to be in town near my favorite retro shop, because I was also, at the hospital for the birth of my second son. So I just, picked up some things. Anyhow, this is Bobo the Vulture. I might be a little busy, but I'm still thinking about you guys, and, hopefully I'll see you around. Bye now.